McKinnis. This is the Happs Marathon pre-party room with free libations, which is pure clickbait, by the way, because how am I supposed to give you digital libations, you know? So if you fell for that one, I apologize. But hello, Evansville, my wonderful friend, Brenda. Retta from Tampa. I mean, how can he not be a wonderful friend? I love Retta. Hey, Joy Christina, I'm sorry. You know, when I'm first getting to know somebody, it's sometimes, where's my drink? Yes, see, exactly. Good job. It was clickbait. It was clickbait because how am I going to get you a drink? It's digital clickbait. Hello from Athens, Gary Price. That is Athens, Georgia, by the way. Thank you for the kind words. You are awesome too, sir. Yeah, I know. My apologies. If you you know what? This is a party, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? You know, who wants to come up? Just come. You know, tell me you want to come up. Who's coming up? This is a party. You don't have a party with one person up here. It is a party, party, party. But it's got to be organic. I'm not inviting anybody up. You got to want to come up. You got to want to do it. Hey, Harry. I'm on my way to get Chipotle before the party happens. Yeah, I had a pizza, and I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to bed in 52 minutes. 52 minutes. Hey, man. Hey, man. Well, I'm just going to have to start singing. Somebody needs to come up here. Somebody needs to come up here. Don't fail me. Oh, I do need to send hello from Los Angeles. Edward, what's up, buddy? I got to send an invite to Eleanor because she'll want to come up. I want to say hello to you. Come on up. You want to say hello? Shar, I am in Chicago. And you are in Moreno Valley, California. Nice to meet you. Is it Shar? No, sure. Share. It's not Shar. There's no R sound there. Share. We'll just have to figure it out. I'm only here for Eleanor. I will invite you. I love Cali too. City, it is. But free libations. Look at that, Jack Torrance, of course. How do we do digital libations, man? It was pure clickbait. It was pure clickbait. You know, we're going to have a masterclass in here now, how to do clickbaity titles for Happs. Because, you know, there's a lot of people joining this network. You want a theme song, Joy? I'm not going to do the obvious one, but we could work on that. What's up, Edward?
It's the best day of my life, Rev. How are you?
I am fine. You know what is amazing about Edward is every day I see him, it's the best day of his life. Like this dude's days just keep getting better and better and better. I like that.
That's good. I just want to come. I just want to come and say hello to you. And
yeah,
let you know that you are appreciated.
And well, you know what? If you could come at like 10 tomorrow and 4 in the afternoon and perk me up again, that's great, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate
you.
you.
Said 10 a.m.?
No, yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
You can come by anytime. I just mean, I
Okay.
appreciate you very much too. I appreciate you. That's, I just love your, I just love your attitude. In the past 3 days, you've inspired me every one of those days. So yeah, we definitely appreciate you. And yes, he is a sharp dressed man. He looks good.
Thank you. Well, one of the things is the word of the day is the word result. So many of us are stuck in not producing results in our lives. So what I always say, procrastination is the brother of inability. So we don't want to procrastinate. The first 3 letters of the word procrastinate is PRO. Too many people are professionals at not taking action. Some people say,
True enough.
Some people say, I want to do something, but they will not go. Like somebody says, well, I want to go to college. I said, well, have you applied yet? No, I haven't applied. Well, you don't want to go then. Fill out applications, do something, make sure you have an action. The book of Proverbs in the Bible is proverbs, meaning proaction. Results are important, but you got to know why you are going on that focus. What's your focus? Like I tell people, vision has 2 parts. It could be the vision or it could be your vision. The difference is if you're going to take your vision, then you got to make sure there's provision for the vision. You can start off very small, but results are extremely important for all of us. So one thing I always say, because I'm in the funeral business, do not in your life never accomplish something because you procrastinated. Don't ever say, I wish I would have, because then it's too late.
I want to ask you, that's very sage advice. Who are your influences? Who influenced you to be this amazingly deep and passionate man about people and motivating them? I guess I don't know if there's a perfect word for what you do, but motivating comes close, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
one of my mentors actually just passed away last Friday at 5:36 p.m. He was 89. He was married 67 years to the same woman.
Wow.
Apostle Frederick Casey Price. He was my pastor since I was 16 years old, and I'm 57 now. My wife's been there also since she was 15 years old. So we've been part of the same life-giving fellowship of just learning how to live life every day and to make sure that we were created for greatness and focus on the inward man so that we could become the best. That's one of my mentors, Pastor Albert Van Tassel. He's also gone to be with the Lord. When I was 16 to 19, before I went off to college, he was a person that really taught me what it meant to be a man, manhood, and how important it is to make sure that you are responsible for your life and that never blame anybody, neither your parents, nor your circumstances, nor the city you grow up in, nothing around you. You have personal responsibility. So at 16, I learned that. My dad also, who's amazing, my dad died at 87 years old. He was married to my mom 57 years. And what he said, I thought was extremely important. He says, son, everybody have this in common. I think I was 12 or 13, is that everyone has a right to choose. He says, you have a right to choose. He says, but you're going to have to learn something. Can you live with the consequence of the choice you make? So through life, I begin to make very good consequences. There's 2 words he taught me that I think are very powerful for all of us. Yes and no. He said, learn to say yes quickly and learn to say no quickly so that everything that's presented to you every single day, you have a yes or a no. There's a scripture that says, today I present to you life and I present to you death. Therefore, choose life. So every day I've just learned to choose life. There's circumstances around all of us that are what I call difficulties of life. But if you respond to them versus react to them, you can go through them with a peaceful attitude. No one makes a good decision in the middle of a crisis. No one. So those are a few of my mentors. I also like Dr. Mark Levin, Dr. Stephen Covey. Before he passed, I also got to meet him. Also Dennis Prager. I don't know if you know, I've been listening to him for over 15 years, but he has Prager University. So I get a lot of good information from there. And I also have a lot of good, absolutely good mentors in my life. One of my mentors, his name is Mark. He's been in the funeral business. I've been working with him for over 20 years. And my partner that I've been with, his name is Dave. He passed away a few years ago, but him and I was in business for 12 years together, working together and growing business and being entrepreneurs. But we had a philosophy all the time that when things don't go correct, we have to have a checkup from the neck up. It's always our attitude that's going to produce something, not because circumstances are not what we think they should be. So I really miss him. My wife always talks about that. Him and I talked every day. And for the last, I say 375, 380 days, it's been really, really different. So, but I have a couple new people that God has blessed me with overseas. And I have one in Tulsa, Oklahoma. His name is Joseph. He was a missionary to China, and my wife went there, the underground church in China. Yeah, obviously I have a lot of people that shape my life, but with no application, it really doesn't matter. So,
yeah, well, I think you are a pretty good implementer, somebody to be somebody to somebody to watch and learn from. I think you're a fantastic implementer. You were talking about missing friends and stuff, and I feel very fortunate that when my grandfather passed away, I was, when my first grandparent passed away, I was well into my 30s, so I was very lucky, and I had really only had one great grandparent pass away, and nobody else, nobody I'd known, early on anyway. But when my grandfather passed away, he was my accountant, he was one of my best friends, and he was my grandpa, and he was just a great, powerful guy in my life, and I certainly miss him every day. But and all of my grandparents tremendously. But I dreamt about him every night for a year. We continued our conversations.
Wow.
Every
night.
What
was his name, Brett? What was his name?
What's that? His name was Bob. They called him Curly because he used to have real curly hair. But you know what? He was always bald when I knew him. And when I was a kid, I could not figure out why they called him Curly.
Okay.
So he came to me in a dream every night for a year.
Wow.
And I was with my dad. We had this is about a year later, and we're headed down to see my grandma. And the anniversary of his death and everything. I said to my dad, we were at the gas station. I said, Dad, I said, it has just been a wild year. I've dreamed about your dad every night. And he said, that is interesting because so have I.
Wow.
My dad had been, and you don't remember every dream and everything, you know what I mean? But it was that year period. It was powerful that he was around and all of that. So, but to me, I just know it was every night. You know what I mean? Like he just showed up and we hung out, and he comes around once in a while, and anytime he wants to stop by, it's just amazing, and I know those are whatever you want to think, wherever those come from, for me, they're memories that are locked in my brain, that my brain is, knows that I want to be in touch with him, and maybe there's a little quantum interference in the universe and all that conspires together to bring him to me or, to someone else. It may be, something more spiritual or, but it doesn't really matter. It's like your philosophy is, none of this is going to matter unless you implement, right? So, whatever you choose, the path that you choose, that you stay faithful to give you strength and endure, I'm going to respect that. And I so respect you. And I'm telling you folks, this guy was came around 3 days ago and set Serena and I straight on how to properly how to properly. I'm very tired, and I've got this marathon tonight, so I've taken a nap. But I want to say I'm having trouble speaking. How to properly, brand ourselves. How to properly speak, speak our truth and say, help us out. Like I'm going to do right now. There are a lot of cool people in this room. Rev, your sound is different. It sounds like a webcam mic. Uh-oh. Thank you, Lindsay. I will have to take care of that.
Is that reverb?
Yeah, I don't know if my mic is sounding weird. I got these new headphones.
It may be the headphones, yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you very well. That's better.
Do I sound better?
Yes. Come
right.
Much clearer.
Yeah. Something came unplugged. Hey, C.S. Murphy. Yeah. So I know that I like the neck up from the neck up.
Checkup from the neck up.
Checkup from the neck up. I used to know a guy in Michigan who was a motivational speaker. I mean, this was long before all these influencers and everything today, And he was a musician. He was a great guy, and he taught me a lot about motivating myself and goal setting. And one of the best, I've learned a lot. I've read a lot of books and done a lot of things around goals and organizations. I'm an ENFP and bipolar and ADHD, or I'm not organized at all. But I'm fortunate to have great people around me that help me stay organized. But one of the things I learned about organization when I couldn't organize, one of my friends said to me, very wise person, he says, you spend so much time trying to figure out how to get organized, you'd have your stuff done by now. So, I just decided to, take it where it was, accept who I was and, find workarounds that, were reasonable. But anyway, I just heard what you said the other night and it was clear. And, this is supposed to be a Happs Marathon pre-party instead of a lesson in how to promote yourself. But, we've got the floor here. We're going to do it. And, it doesn't have the same too tingly bass as usual. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. So there's two ways that, that you kind of get some revenue on here. One is you're able to, get sponsored, and that's a great path for the people that are sponsors. But there's the tip system here. I wouldn't depend on the tip system, for your livelihood, but you deserve a tip. If you're here, if you're broadcasting, it doesn't matter. If people like what you're doing, and then they can give you a tip. But most people aren't going to know. Hey, Swift, they're not going to know about the tip system when they first come in necessarily, and people kind of have to be trained on how the culture works here.
Yeah. Go ahead. And Rev, I'm going to do that for you because I think it's important that everyone understand that TIP, T-I-P, is to ensure proper service or to ensure promptness. So if you do come into the broadcast, there is a system in Happs that allows you as an individual to tip the broadcaster. You have coins that you can use to tip the broadcaster. You can also ask the broadcaster, do they have any other ways that they can receive funding, whether it's Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, whatever, so that if you want to do something more substantial, you can do that. But do not be afraid to tip, T-I-P, again, to ensure proper service or to ensure punctuality. If you get anything out of any broadcaster that can change your life, give you good clarity, give you direction, please see the value of that and do three things. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, sponsor, and share. Okay, those are the three S's I'm going to continue to say every time I come on, Rev. I'm going to say subscribe, sponsor, and share. Thank you for the award, Joy. This is very important that we go through and make sure that we also participating. I think this is one great thing in Happs, that you as the audience, you can participate. Like if you went to a show and you gave a standing ovation, you can do that. Okay. Someone's saying, is the sound still off? Yeah. So these are the kind of things you can do. So please, again, do not be afraid to support the broadcaster. I think it's very important. 3 S's again: subscribe, sponsor, share.
That is just beautiful sentiment, Edward. Beautiful idea. Look, everybody out there, bar none, if you sign up to come onto this platform and you're watching, that's beautiful. And we love you. I love you. I appreciate you for watching any of these programs. But if you have the wherewithal or the desire to become a broadcaster, man, if you're just hanging out with your friends and nobody really comes in and watches it, you know what? You're as successful as anybody else here because you're enjoying what you're doing and you're happy. But if you're working hard like Swift Beats does, or you're working hard, like any of the broadcasters here that have taken some of their skill and their talent and are presenting it to you. They worked hard to get there, and it's just amazing and lovely to be rewarded. Ed rewarded Serena and I the other day, and I'm 54 years old. I've had a few accolades in my life and everything, and I'm telling you right now, Edward's generosity and his sharing touched me deeply. And 10 cents, 50 cents appreciate you award will touch people deeply because they're like, wow, you like what I'm doing? Because it's not about the money on the tip side over there. It's just about what the award says. I appreciate you. Good interview, and you get a little bit of, spending money too. But what I've done so far with that spending money is I've invested it in my technical director who helps me with my show. And I've put $100 back into the coin system. So, keep the money, hold on to it, do what you want, but, also replenish and buy your coins on the desktop. It's 30% cheaper. And now I sound like a commercial. So
it is a commercial, Rev. It is a commercial. Yeah. It's okay. We have commercials in our life for a reason. If you don't know something's available, you don't have the opportunity to participate in it. When something is available, we have to give a commercial so people know that it exists. Commercials are important. Listen, all of us have commercials in our life. We are all advertising every day. That's why it's called income. You come in to a broadcast. If the income is made up of 2 words, you come into a broadcast, then a word is income. You come into the broadcast, you bring income. That's the whole purpose of the word income. There's 2 words, income and come in. You come into the broadcast, bring some income. It's okay for a commercial. So Rev, you know I don't have no problem sharing that, correct? Am I losing you? Connection?
All right, hopefully
Okay.
Hopefully you guys could hear me now. I didn't hear what you said at all, Edward. I yanked on a wire to tighten it up, and I set the whole system down. So I'm
no
here.
Problem. What I was saying, Rev, was that is nothing wrong with having a commercial because commercials are important. We all have commercials in our life, but the word income is made up of 2 words. When I come into your broadcast, I'm coming in. Any form of income that I've gained when I come into a broadcast, I can get the value of that broadcast when I come in. So I can share some of the income I made throughout my life when I come into a place, if that place brings value, any length of value. So don't take the word income as something negative. When you come into a place that builds value, give you courage, helps you out, then you can share your income with it. I think that's very important. Everybody understands that.
I agree 100%.
Nothing wrong with the commercial. Okay, so I think most of us do not realize that. Are you playing with the
yeah, I'm trying to. It'll just drive me crazy if that microphone's not working right. I think I just fixed it. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think that. Sorry about that. I think that's important that each one of us understands that. And like I shared, the people that work for our company, work more on yourself than on your job. The more value you become to the marketplace will find you. So I've worked with people that work with our company, and they became so much more value. They've chosen to move on to their next level because they became more valuable. So we were a stepping stone to help them become more valuable to the marketplace, and the marketplace found them and it pays them. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're good with that.
Amen. Amen to that, because one of the things that I tell our new employees, or especially our interns, but our new employees too, is that, obviously you're here to work, you're here to learn, you're here to do a good job for us, but success, hey Mark, success to me, from my perspective for you, is when you move up here or you move up somewhere else and we lose you, but if you go on to success, it's because I've supported you and you've
Correct.
supported me. And I want everybody that works for me to outgrow me, to better themselves, to get into a higher position. And if I can help them do that, that means a lot to me. And
So
I we have similar philosophies.
yeah. So hello, Mark. Welcome. So I just want to make sure, Rev, now this Happs Marathon pre-party room, when is that happening?
This is right now, but the marathon is at official Happs Marathon. I should have said unofficial Happs Marathon pre-party. The official Happs Marathon is at 7 p.m. Pacific. That'd be 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. in the East.
Okay. All right. Well,
and are you in the East?
No, I'm in Southern California.
Oh, you are a lucky man.
Yeah.
Now
I'm
in
Orange County. Well, right now I'm in LA, but I live in Orange County.
Oh, well, listen, Ed, it sounds like you probably need to get going, maybe.
Yes.
So,
but I will try to jump back on. I will try to jump back on later. Is this the Mark?
Yeah, come to the party.
Yeah, is this the Mark part of the Happs team?
That is.
Hey, Mark, good to see you. I saw him very briefly. We didn't get to introduce ourselves at the time, but Mark, it's good to see you. And we just had a very maybe 2-minute conversation before you had to exit yesterday from the meeting that you guys were having because you brought him in. And thanks so much. I appreciate it. It's great to see you. And look forward to getting to know you and your team and seeing how well we can all help build Happs to the best possible broadcasting network it can be.
And on that note, with Edward here and Mark here, all of you who are in love with this platform, proselytize.
Yes.
Get out there, be evangelists. Be evangelists for Happs. Proselytize. Get out there and speak your truth to people and make this network grow.
Oh, so Swift Beats. Yeah, I will join sometime. Like I told, I think I don't know if you were in there yesterday, Rev, but I did make a commitment that somewhere along the line I will be producing and giving people $100 a month, throughout all of Happs.
Yeah, you're going to share $100 amongst people, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I didn't want you to have to do $100 a month to 100 people, so I was just making sure.
Are we having oxtails? Sorry.
Wait, were you talking about dinner?
Yeah, we're talking about having oxtails.
Are you having curried oxtail? How are you making it?
Yeah, it's curry with the cabbage, with the cabbage.
Oh, with the cabbage. Oh, yeah. Nice. So I have learned, verified by, some from Jamaicans to make some good chicken curry. So now I'm supposed to work my way into goat and doing some stuff with oxtail. So I love to hear that you're having some oxtail there for dinner. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be very good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to pick up a couple plates for my wife and I, and watch a movie. So, thank you so much. I don't know, is that Blurry?
Blurries, yeah.
Blurries. Oh yeah, I know my number one. Yes. Okay, but I do thank you so much. That's an amazing thing you're doing. So appreciative that you are supporting the Happs broadcasters. Oh yeah, no problem. And as I continue to increase, I will increase it too. I think that people should be supported, and I want to be able to be part of the beta test and beyond, so that we can all help each other. I think that if you're going to make an investment, it should be in something that's good, so that people. What I like is people say, and I told my wife, people are getting deplatformed. I said, well, I'm going to help platform people.
He is, and I can, and I feel like I can give testament to that. I can testify because the man is very generous with his words and with his wealth in every way, the wealth that he has. And Ed, would it be okay if I put your handle out there on here, and then people
Yes.
could follow you? Okay,
Yes,
good.
yes, of course.
Yeah. So follow Ed Lynn. I know he's got to go, or I'd have him put it in himself. But I think you can click on it. Follow Ed Lynn. Mark, thanks for the Super Clap Award. Very much appreciated. And yeah, anytime, my friend, come and see me. And I think what we need to do one evening is get you on the big interview for an hour,
Yes.
and we can talk about a lot of this stuff. All right.
Yes, I'll look forward to it. Mark, good seeing you. Everyone else, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys in the marathon. I see you a little bit later.
Thanks, Ed. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And there he goes. Look at that. Who else is going to drop in? I have got 24 minutes before I'm taking a nap. So until my first appearance on the marathon. So, and I will tell you tonight on the marathon, I have, and just an amazing woman who is an actor, a dancer, a filmmaker. And like Ed, she is just charming and funny and just enthusiastic about life. And her name is Anna Sevilla. And through the magic of social media, Anna and I have become great friends. And we want to encourage her to come to the platform. She does these IGTV, very in-depth, detailed. I do not ever stop, Mr. Goldman. There's nothing more I love than doing this. And yes, I'm going to take a nap, but I will be stopping this weekend. I have to record 2 shows over the weekend, but the rest of the time I'm going to be sleeping. And what was I saying? I am tired. But anyway, oh yeah. So Anna, like, she's just amazing. You're going to love her. And we want to bring Anna to the platform and have everybody welcome her. I should think she's going to be great. She'll fit into the community really well. And then if you saw Kaylee Legrand a couple of nights ago on my show, I know Mark was there. She is just as equally amazing as Anna. And just another really, somebody that I can, have been able to quickly call my friend, which is what I can do with so many of you out there right now. And she is going to be bringing her podcast with her her fellow co-host who won't be able to be there tonight, but to the Happs platform. And so we're gonna see how that works. I'm gonna help produce them a little bit, and we're gonna see kind of how that format can be married with this format. I'm certainly planning on doing it too, getting my podcast up and running with what we're doing on here. So that's going to be fun, and you definitely want to see her. Anna is on, I think it's 7:30 Pacific, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. Callie will be on 10:30 Toronto time, right? I said that. So that'll be like, that's sometime in California. And I'll let you know when you guys see me on there tonight. Anna sounds incredible. You keep bringing the most amazing people to Happs. Thank you so much for all you're doing to make this a better and better platform. Oh, you bet, sir. You bet. It's, I can't think of too many people in the world that I have newfound, relationship with Mark as well. And just an incredible amount of respect for someone that is, I don't know if you know what these guys do here, if you're new, but it's just an amazing team. and Happs is it might not even be what you think it is a platform. It has so much capability and so much potential, and the underlying goal of this organization is to, quite frankly, change the world. So you're in on it early, and you're just incredibly lucky to be here, as I am. Then last for me on the marathon is going to be Bobby Bicker and I, and that's just the last 45 minutes of the program we're going to be on together. And Bobby's going to be on my show very soon, and then I think we'll record a weekend edition of my show for Bobby, so she doesn't have to be up at some crazy hour to record with us. But yeah, Bobby and I are just, again, like everybody else on here, we're having a nice time getting to know each other, and so we're going to have each other on each other's show, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. So set your alarms for sometimes in California. So who wants to come up? I'm not going to be up much longer. I'm literally going to take a bit of a nap here pretty soon. I got to wake up to read the bedtime stories to the 7-year-old. Bobby does not sleep. Bobby will be a wonderful mentor to have, because what she's been able to do and build. I hope I can I can do it 10% as well as she does, and I will be kicking keister. So yeah, if anybody wants to come up here and chat, hey Eleanor, I see you. Now is the time to do it. If anybody wants to come up and say hi. This is the Happs Marathon pre-party room, free libations. Does my microphone sound like it has more bass in it now? Does it sound better? It was sounding crappy, right? Hey girl, thank you so much for your help yesterday. I'm truly grateful. At Civic Stage Manager, and I'm doing okay. How are you? Oh, and then you're going to make me sing if somebody doesn't, come up here. Sounds great. Good. Thank you, Joy. We got to work on your theme song, because I don't think Joy to the World represents you well enough. I think my feeling is that we need another song. It would just be so obvious to, when Let It Be comes in, it's easy, because you just go, Let It Be, and they're in the room, right? That's the easiest theme song. But if you all want a theme song, you got to work with me with it. You got to work with me. Maybe even Swift Beats and I. You got to work with us. We're going to come up. I just want to come up with just a few note theme songs. Wow! Oh, look at that. This is actual takeover right here. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Rev.
How are you doing, man?
Hi, I'm glad it's Friday afternoon, my friend. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, I am, and that's news to me, because yesterday I thought it was Friday all day, and I missed a meeting in the morning because we don't have a meeting on Fridays. And my partner, she's like, "Where were you today?" And I'm like, "Where would I be? It was Friday." And she's like, "No, it's Thursday." So, yeah. Oops. Yeah. But we love each other. It was fine.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Man.
I am so loving what you're doing, dude. The people you're bringing to this platform, and the experiences that you're sharing. Really, I'm not just saying that. I am truly in awe, and most appreciative, as I believe everybody is, of just the incredible people that you're exposing to this community and bringing to the party.
Well, I appreciate that very much, sir. I love this. I love this platform, and I hope I'm only just scratching the surface. I hope I've only just begun, because this is not going to stop, and it's going to get better. And I'm going to be honest, in the world that I'm trying to run around in here, it's all about building on, and getting people to trust you, have a reputation for being doing a good job, and they'll want to come to you, and be a part of my program. And that my program, it's kind of twofold. Well, it's multifaceted, but it's kind of twofold because if you're coming onto the platform, you're going to go for a test drive too. So, people that come onto the show don't know that I really want them to be on Happs too. So, I do tell some of them ahead of time, but and I want to teach other people, to not be afraid and how to approach people, and how to ask people to do that. And I think if you're genuine and you're enthusiastic, it can happen. So
look, dude, I don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing an amazing job of pulling in some absolutely not only fascinating, but you can just tell really quality people. I mean, these are just genuine people. You can see their soul, and it's a bright light. So most appreciated. And I actually, that's why I joined just now, is I wanted to ask you, what is your vision for what you're envisioning for yourself and for this platform? People ask me that all the time, but I'm so curious to hear what you say about that.
Well, it's pretty funny. Like, I don't know that I've thought of it that deeply. You know what I mean? I'm in the building mode. I'm in the let's make this thing work mode, and it needs to be here. I mean, you know what? My I call the executive producer here. She says, we're talking about this, and how much fun I'm having, and she's like, I'm an ENFP. I have ADHD. Like, I do things. I might have already said this to you. Like, if I have 15 hours to do a project, then I'll take those 15 hours before the project's due and I'll do it and it'll be a great project. But she said, I've never seen you work so hard in the last 3 weeks ever, like ever. I've never seen you work so hard. And it's because I love this platform. I'm not trying to blow my own horn here. I mean, I'm exhausted. I should have gone to bed 3 days ago, but then you guys sprung this marathon on me. So I'm going to put one more night in it, and then I'm going to rest a bunch. So,
Okay.
and honestly, I do have a vision for myself. And I think that vision is, I want to be able to just interview whoever I want, just like, like I want to interview people that can make a difference. Somebody was asking me, do you want to interview famous people? And I'm like, yeah, if we can get them, on the platform, or if they can say something that would change people's, that would touch people's heart, inform people, give them strength. I just want to bring great quality people to this. I love interviewing. I've been around media most of my life. I've been an activist most of my life. I'd have to be a salesman once in a while, a sales manager at a car dealership or something, to make enough money to pay off all the debt from being an activist. But this is the most fun I've ever had. And I think I told you this too. I never was able to, with all the media stuff that I'd done, even if I went to a small market, 20 years ago, like in Dubuque or something, and, I want to do public affairs on Sunday morning, they'd be like, well, what have you done? What's your background? What did you have PhD in? Whatever, and I just couldn't even imagine trying to become a host of a Tom Snyder, right, in the 70s. That guy would talk to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it could be the head of some place or whatever. And hey, Kenny. And so, yeah, I just want to interview quality people.
But I'm
good people.
But
I've met so many people.
I'm gonna switch seats with you for a second, even though I don't have the cool headset and the snazzy microphone. I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna ask you some questions, Rev.
All right, hold on. Let me stretch. Okay, go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over here, but I'm genuinely.
No, I love it. No, look, I want everybody to know. That Mark just came right in. It was beautiful. I was so happy to see him. Yeah, go ahead. You can take over anytime you want, sir. I think you technically have the keys to the platform. So
I do, but I try not to abuse those. Well, so just kind of double clicking on that, as my good friend and co-founder Drew likes to say. Um, there's a difference between wanting to attract those kind of people and interview those kind of people for your own gratification and wanting to do it for a different purpose. And what I'm asking is, what's your true motivation behind this? Like, what are you, why do you want to do it? And it's totally fine if you want to do it because you find it fascinating and interesting to have those interviews. I get that and I respect that.
Right.
And I enjoy that kind of stuff too. I'm just curious if there's something more here,
Well,
or if
yeah, there is.
if that's what motivates you, because that's
No, that
cool.
is what motivates me, because it's got to be fun. You know what I mean? Like, if this wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it. But I'm really lucky. Most of my life, I've been able to do things that I enjoy. Even managing car dealerships, as scummy a business as that is, I'm really good at it, and it's a lot of fun. But but it's got to be fun. It's got to be fun. And I wish everybody, and honestly, that's probably a part of why I'm doing this, I wish everybody on the planet could do what they loved. Because the difference that it makes in your life to be able to do what you love is, if you've never experienced it, I mean, I know there are millions of people out there that
immeasurable.
Yeah, it is. You can't put a value on it. It's the most beautiful thing. And but what I really want to do is I think really aligns with what my idea of what your mission is. Look how I can turn these things around pretty quickly. That's an art right there.
I see what
That's
you did there, man.
Right there. Yeah. So, but I say that, align. I think I'm very aligned with your mission. So our nonprofit, which does racial equity, social justice work, and if Eleanor's not here. If somebody will just type in there for me, www.becomecenter.org, because I can't type and talk very well. I'm not fast like that. That's the nonprofit that I've been with for about 8 years. And when I was homeless, I met Dr. McBride, and she started that, and I helped her do it, and I've helped her all along the way. And one of the things I want to do is get them a channel on here, get them a room, and have them start spreading their message about what's called culturally responsive evaluation. Yep, culturally responsive evaluation. It is a field that was pioneered to do. It's a movement. It's a social justice tool, and we've pioneered something beyond that called a culturally responsive practice. And honestly, in the last 8 years, we've worked with the biggest funders in the country. We're doing incredible work, and I want to grow that organization. That's kind of I used to be president of the organization, and now I'm just kind of a consultant, and I'm on the board. And that's my goal, is to grow that organization into the Become Center, Kim. Become Center, one word. Grow that organization into a powerhouse. And cool. So that's, thank you. And that's what I want to do ultimately, is like this platform. We have people from Africa. We have Almond Lee in Hong Kong. We have people from all over, and I really, I've devoted my life. Hello, Doe. How are you, darling?
Have you connected with Marianne Okun from Nigeria? She's remarkable, and actually Tolulope, who's another journalist in Nigeria, is just coming back. She's been away from the platform, but I noticed that she's just coming back next week.
Oh, good.
So
no, I haven't. So I would love to connect with them and talk with them, because I'm trying to do this thing. I've been reaching out to some journalists in Great Britain. I think I said this to you before, because they line up really well, right? I mean, I can do a show at 2:00 and it's 8:00 for them, or or I can stay up. You know what I mean? We line up well. We also line up really well with Malaysia, by the way. We need people from Malaysia, because that's where Dev Cat is. Oh, and we have to talk about her for a second. But what I really want to do is I want to bring Black and brown voices to this medium, because we don't have local and hyper local news anymore, right? That market it was never profitable. You guys know about this more than I do. And, in a lot of ways, the networks, it was a system, and you're a TV guy, better than I do about any of this stuff, but the impact, you're talking about these two journalists. We need people reporting what's going on around the world, because I got to tell you, for the last 4 years, all CNN did every day for 4 years was tell me about Donald Trump. I have no idea what happened in India. I have no idea what happened in China. I have no idea, if the polar ice caps are melting or if it's healed, because all they ever did was talk about Donald Trump. And we need to hear everybody's voices. And that has always been my vision since I was 8 years old. Well, it wasn't a vision then, but it was to help people. And I've been an activist my whole life. So yeah, that was a long answer, but that's where I am.
It's beautiful. And thank you, Eleanor. I appreciate you appreciating that I turned this around, because I'm sure Rev wouldn't mind talking about himself with himself, but it's always easier if somebody.
You have to do it sometimes. Well, yeah, I hate being up here by myself. I always need somebody to come up here,
It's not nearly as much fun.
Yeah.
But look, absolutely. I think that bringing more underrepresented perspectives and voices out into the open across all spectrums, I mean, is absolutely critical, and it's what we need to make happen. And we also need to pair that with voices that are represented, but need a more authentic platform to participate in, because I think a lot of those times those big voices are very scripted and very polished, and I would much prefer to interact with them on an authentic level, and I'd love to see that happening as well.
I think that's a beautiful thing too, because I will say that over the last few years, I watched way too much news. Honestly, I don't think I watched anything else, but I have seen moments, with somebody like a Chris Cuomo or something, where they're just actually, and I mean, I get it, they live a totally different life than we do, but they're still people. And when they're actually touched pretty strongly on it, and they get raw and they expose themselves, you know what I mean? They're comfortable with their own vulnerability. That's when the truth is going to come out.
Yeah, that's when the magic happens, for sure.
Exactly.
That's when the magic happens.
Yeah. And I had magic on, was it last night? Now I'm getting confused. No, last night was Dev, right? Oh my gosh.
Last night was Dev.
Yeah. And the night before that was Brian Dunning, just kind of a personal hero to me, and literally 100% because of Happs and connections I made on Happs. I'm interviewing Brian Dunning, an amazing guy who just does amazing work for communities and educators and everything. And I almost cried at the end of that episode because, well, I did tear up a little bit, but I think I pulled it off. You might have to look close to notice, but it was so overwhelming to just think about. Just 3 or 4 weeks ago, I didn't have all these friends. I didn't know all these people. And I know I'm going to have friendships, I think and hope with you for, until I'm not kicking around this planet anymore. And
from your mouth to God's ears, man.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, man, Brian Dunning, like, I've heard his voice, his podcast every week for 10 years. And here I am talking to him, and we're talking about, possibilities. So yeah, it was great.
You're on quite a roll, man. I mean, Kaylee 3 nights ago, Brian Dunning 2 nights ago, Dev last night. I mean, all of those are pretty spectacular people. So you've got quite a role going here, man.
Well, it's funny because
and I have to tell you, I had not met Edward before, but what an incredible spirit he has.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, thank you for revealing him. He's pretty cool.
I don't know where Edward came from. I mean, he hasn't been broadcasting. He should be, and he said he will. And I mean, we met each other briefly the other night. I mean, it's kismet, right? I mean, so Serena and I are talking about because I was trying to kind of convey to Serena that, it's okay. People don't necessarily know that they can tip you. People don't know what the tips are about. You don't have to ask for it. Just explain it. And people will get it. And they want to, be a part of what you're doing. Right. And I'll tell them to go to her iTunes too. You can buy her. I bought her stuff. I mean, go to iTunes, support her. But you can support her right here on the network. And so we were talking about that, and this guy asked to come up into her broadcast. I might have to rewatch it because I told him I thought he might have been an angel when I saw him the second day. I'm like, okay, he must not be, because I can't remember how he arrived, but he did, and he just started speaking the truth like he's speaking now and testifying to how much he loves this network, its possibilities and its capabilities. I think he said in there somewhere that he doesn't, he said something, he says it so well about taking it from a beta test, to whatever. And I was like, honestly, when you were in here, I was kind of like, is this your chief marketing officer? Is this some kind of stunt? You know what I mean?
love that.
Because he loves the platform, and you'll get to know him. And he legit, he's sponsoring me for $3 a month. I'm assuming he's sponsoring Serena for the same amount. He sponsored us both, and we were just so touched. He just warmed us, he just warmed us up right there. And I've paid all of that forward, to other folks on here. So it's a beautiful system that we have here.
It's beautiful. And I mean, what I so love about what I'm hearing him say is that he just understands it. It's not that he's doing it, randomly. It's not that he,
right.
Is doing it for accolades. I think he just fundamentally understands the concept of what we're trying to accomplish here. And, he relates to it, and he's supporting it with his actions. And that's just a beautiful thing. That's absolutely a beautiful thing. So,
well, and just to think that you and your co-founders, your partners in this venture, you have a vision, and I mean, I know you have had many wins, and I look forward to reading your memoirs there. But a long time from now, and we'll probably see him on this platform. Actually, we'll do something interesting. But it's just awesome to have that feeling, to have an Edward pop up on your network that has passion for it, and he hasn't sat across from you. He doesn't know the story per se, but he gets what this thing is about, right? That's transcendent. That's beautiful.
I love that. I had an experience when I was building Sky in Latin America, and wow. I just got feedback. Did you guys get that? Did you guys get that?
Edward's coming back. Edward's coming back. Edward, if you could turn down your volume on your because we're getting the delay. You got to listen to the signal.
I just did. I turned it down.
Good.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, very good. Very
Brilliant.
good.
All good.
Yeah, come on in, Edward. Finish your thought there, Mark.
I was just I'm remembering back to the experience of building Sky in Latin America, and I was in Colombia at one point and went to a small town in Colombia and got introduced to a guy who had set up a business to sell Sky to people in his town, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that I wasn't just providing a living for the 1,000 people who worked for Sky directly. I was providing a living for 10,000 plus people who literally were small entrepreneurs that had created companies to sell Sky or to install the satellite dishes in people's homes. And it actually made me cry. I was and cry from a sense of responsibility. I mean, when I started to realize the enormity of the number of people who were relying on me for their livelihood, to put food on the table for their family, it changed the dynamic of that conversation so much from the bullshit of, how much are we going to pay for some movie channel, to Jesus, we have a real responsibility here to the people who are counting on us, and our success. And I'm constantly having a deja vu on here as I see the connections being made, as I see the commitments of people like Edward, and the support that they're giving people, and the knowledge that this goes well beyond us, and the responsibility that we have to make sure that it's everything you guys are envisioning and want it to be.
Yeah, that is just absolutely a beautiful story, and I really appreciate you sharing that with us, because it's I think I don't think people think about that nearly enough at the corporate level. About people, right? This is about relationships, and it's absolutely beautiful. We now have our friend Ed is back, and Ed, how are you doing? This is Mr. Mark Goldman, and
Mark,
I mean,
it's the best day of my life, Rev. Sorry that I went before you. Mark, thank you so very much for this platform, and I do appreciate your words. I did get to hear a little bit as I was driving. I just wanted to pull over and say thank you for this opportunity. I think that being a person of influence, and all of us can do it, and some of us do it quietly, like you said, with the 10,000 people. Some of us do not know that, but every single person on this app, which we call Happs, everyone could be a person of influence to whatever level they want to be. And I think that if you become a person of influence, then we can belittle the people with power. And I say that very real, because I think that as long as we can influence each other for good and help each other to do better, when we care about each other and share about each other, then we don't care about who's in first place. We just want everybody to be in the right place.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Ed. We've danced around spending time together, and this is the first time that we've actually really connected directly. I know we said hi last night, but it's just clear to me where your heart is at, and your understanding of what we're trying to accomplish here, and it's just a real pleasure to connect with you on this level. And what you just said is spot on, absolutely spot on, my friend.
Yes. You too, Mark. And since you are in LA and I'm in Orange County, I would definitely love to have the opportunity to meet you outdoors, obviously, because in the last year, people in the LA area, Orange County area, have not eaten inside of a restaurant in 13 months, which is unbelievable to me, that we do not get opportunity to eat inside of a restaurant. But I just want to know, whatever I can do, any vision that exists needs provision. And it doesn't matter where that provision comes from. It comes from a multitude of people. It comes from sponsorships, or a big corporation could just give. I just like the fact that when all the people do it, we, the people of Happs, makes it a whole lot easier for everybody to eat. And I think that's important.
Yeah. Look, Edward, I love connecting with you here. I'd be honored to connect with you in person as well. So let's figure out a way to make that happen. I don't know if you're aware of this, but just to show you how spot on your comments are, our vision statement for the company has been for 3 years, and continues to be, to connect the world through empathy. It's all about human connection and understanding each other better, and we fundamentally believe that by just empowering these kind of experiences, the world will change in a very profound and meaningful way. And to bring it down to real life, we had a broadcast this morning from Penguin 6, and he was live streaming the White House and Marine One, the helicopter sitting on the lawn of the White House, waiting for the president to come out and take off to go to Andrews Air Force Base. And candidly, he was connected to YouTube, and there was a lot of pro-Trump supporters weighing in on that broadcast, and I was thrilled to have that perspective, shared, because I think we, as a society, have a tendency to only want to understand and hear what we believe, and I think we may not agree with other people, but we need to listen to them. And I was able to sit back and listen to a lot of people that I don't personally agree with their perspective, but I respect that they have that perspective, and it was very important for me to hear what they were feeling and expressing it at that moment in time. And I hope that we can do it in a respectful way, that we can honor each other, but that we can also be open to understanding each other better, because I think that's the only way that we're going to really change what our human existence and start to move forward collectively.
Well, Mark, I think you said that very well, and I do acknowledge that. One of the things I do say, and my wife and I have this conversation often, we both have opinions, and there's nothing wrong with it. We respect each other's opinion. How can two walk together unless they agree? Unfortunately, some people do not realize, listen to someone else's opinion, because I like what Dennis Prager says. He says clarity over agreement. So I can be clear that you have a philosophy that's different than mine, or an opinion that's different than mine, but I'm going to respect the fact that you do have an opinion. It's okay. At the same time, please value my opinion also, and do not say, because my opinion doesn't meet yours, that you have a right to decide to cancel me out because my opinion is not your opinion. So I've learned this, and I say this, and I don't know if you've heard this before on your app here, but there's 7.8 billion people on the planet. Every single one of them have their own DNA. They have their own set of fingerprints. All of us are original. None of us are a copy. There's not a snowflake the same. There's not a leaf the same. There's not a raindrop the same. Why are we trying to put people in a box and tell each person they need to have a group think? You don't. I tell people, even in the group of people that say, oh, you're black. I said, no, I'm black on my skin, but my soul and my spirit has no color. How about let's talk soul to soul and spirit to spirit? Let's see how far we can go there.
I love it. Couldn't agree with you more.
And that's why I can come on here, talk to Rev, talk to you guys, talk to people from around the world, because I don't, and even though we do see the house that people walk around in, but the real them are on the inside. And like I put in your chat here, Rev, I don't want power. I don't care about power. I just want to be a person of influence. And if I can influence people just to be better every single day, be kind, a smile can change a person's life. I deal with the hotline sometimes, suicide hotline. And I try to get people to understand that you do not want to make a permanent decision for a temporary problem. And I try to get them to understand what you may think is so difficult. Remember how valuable you are. Remember that your gift needs to be expressed and you are not finished yet. And it helps me a lot. And I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity to serve every day.
Brilliant. Yeah. Amazing.
Sorry about that. I was getting called away. One of the things I, just as an aside, that I love about this is I see Badges is out there, and Lindsay was on for our, I don't know, we almost had a record-breaking broadcast the other day, and we had to cut it short. But Lindsay was on there for a long time with me, for about 5 hours I was working and she was co-hosting, and people were coming in and coming out, and Lindsay's never Lindsay. I hope you don't mind. Lindsay's never like really hosted her own thing, but she hangs out in other people's, broadcasts all the time. She's got thousands of hours probably by now banked into her, hundreds anyway. None of us have been long enough for that, but hundreds of hours banked in other people's rooms, and I can leave, give control to somebody else, and go on a bio break or get some drink or something, because we all can sit here for so long. And it's just such a wonderful team of people that you can have up here with you, and trust them, and give them the controls to your ship, and be like, all right, you take over for a while. And I actually did that during that whole broadcast. There were one of the little tricks I like to do, folks, if you want to know, is that I bring you up and have you come up and talk, and then if I know you've never broadcast before, then I'll find an excuse to step away and let you take the reins a little bit. And it's fun, because they don't even, they're nervous about doing it. They don't even know that they did it. They just do it. So yeah, just
you're giving your secrets away.
Yeah, exactly. Just share the love. Open a room up in the morning sometime. Just say, welcome to Happs. What do you need? Welcome to Happs. You want to do your first broadcast, and just, see if anybody shows up. I'm pretty sure people that have broadcasted will show up. And if you don't know an answer, they'll probably have the answer. But, the sense of community is. Yeah.
I think the other thing that I've just seen, constantly here, is that you can do that, and somebody who, is more established on the platform will generally happily join in and welcome you to the platform and give you some boost in your awareness and following on the platform, and get you started. And I absolutely love, that sense that it's not a competitive thing. It's quite the opposite. It's a supportive community.
Yeah, that was. You probably heard this.
True.
That was what the so many of the folks from Periscope were so torn apart about, was the fact that the communities that they had established were going to go away. Like, how we can't connect on Twitter the same way. How are we going to connect? We can't go to these other platforms. There's no community on those platforms. I'm not criticizing anybody that's on those platforms, but that's not what that's not how those are focused, because you said it. Your mission is about empathy, and when you lead with empathy, it's got to go well. If you lead with empathy, it's got to go well. Exactly. So, I just don't think you could pick a better position than to lead with empathy.
It's just awesome. it naturally came to us. So
I need to start broadcasting.
You do, for sure, Edward.
Sitting it up. I didn't hear what you said.
No, I said.
We lost you, Edward.
I said you do, Edward. You clearly have a very significant voice and really valuable perspective that I'm sure a lot of people would absolutely love to experience. So,
yeah, I hope we see your broadcast one of these days.
Well, I'm going to be studio building a platform. I'm going to be starting on Periscope. In different communities that we work in, we introduce everyone, local funeral home owner, the funeral director. We also introduce them to their local crematory person or their local cemetery person, so people put a face with the business people in their community. A lot of these people, they serve. We're the last responders. You hear everybody talk about the first responders, but we have a lot of last responders that most people do not realize. We do this every day. I've been doing this for 32 years. We do this every day. So we get to serve people in the middle of a crisis and do our best possible thing to get them to their first step back to normalcy. That's the transition. Try to get people back to their first step back to honesty, and I like to introduce people so that we can make sure that's all.
Oh, we lost you, Ed, again.
Is that better?
Yeah, and I think I just appreciate your beautiful words, Mark. I would love sometime to be interviewed again. That was fun.
I would love to do it.
I do this all the. That'd be great. That'd be great because I love doing this. But it's nice to be interviewed too, and it's nice to sit on the other side of that. And I learn a lot. I think I could learn a lot from how somebody else interviews me. So that would be great. And I am going to tell you and all of the folks out there that I said I would be in bed 20 minutes ago. So I got to get some sleep because I can't wait for that marathon. I'm sure we'll see you there. I see that Mr. Newman is going to be there, and man, it's going to be a party.
Indeed.
So,
indeed. Get some rest, my friend. You deserve it and you need it. So
thank you, sir.
Look forward to seeing you later. Ed, thank you. It was a true pleasure.
Mark,
and
pleasure.
To be continued.
You
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
Be continued.
Talk to you guys. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. That was great, Mark. Appreciate you so much. And we'll see you in a little bit. And peace be with you. And namaste.